We're in a cycle of mergers and acquisitions, and I think it will continue for the next 4 to 5 years. We've seen cycles in the past, and it happens about every 10 years, where you had large companies acquiring other companies and putting them together. What's really fun about these type of cycles, eventually you see some breaking down. They get too big, and then you have a lot of great little companies that become better at what they do than the larger companies. But I think you'll see the consolidation. And the last go around, when we had some of these mergers or acquisitions this occur, there were other major brands, flags, that didn't win. And that doesn't mean that they've stopped. So I would anticipate something happening with a number of those in the future. On the management front, I think we're probably in that epicenter for management mergers, combinations, acquisitions. It's just the right time to do that as well, and I think we'll see a lot more of that going forward. And again, I think we probably have a 4 to 5 year cycle, and I think it could go further, but it all depends on what happens in the economy.
Well, we definitely expect to see further consolidation in the operators, management companies, mostly because of the sheer economies of scale. If you're a company with only a handful of properties, it's just impossible to compete for talent. The cost of the systems that you need for accounting or reservations, etc., are just too prohibitive. So you need to just get bigger to be more efficient. On the brand side, we definitely see a couple of brands that are ripe. There's been rumors for a long time that IHG is either going to buy somebody or be acquired by somebody. Accor. And internationally, they're still looking to acquire. We think that it's an interesting opportunity. La Quinta spinning off the real estate, that now their brand may be in play. So those are what I would see possibly the ones that would happen in the most immediate future. The REITs are a little more problematic because, as was discussed on the panel today, it's hard to get the numbers to work because everybody's pretty much at the same multiple, at the same relative value, net asset value to price. So it's hard to make a compelling business case to do that. There really aren't that many economies of scale. You say maybe a little G&A. So that one would take a little more impetus to get it going, but ultimately I think that will happen. It's a question of how long the cycle is going to go. A lot of us have seen new life breathed into it. At least everybody is not as worried about a hard landing. It's always something, black swan event can happen. But right now I think people are probably a little more optimistic about going out 3-4 years than they were a year or two ago. So we look, and the trend is, we have to be bigger because we have Amazon and Google and all those other guys breathing down our necks here, and bigger historically has been better.
Well, let's start with the back end of that question, the cycle. As the Chief Operating Officer of Redline Hotel Corporation, I listen to the economists, I listen to the experts who have been at this conference this year, and what I'm hearing is the cycle is going to extend for anywhere from another 2 years to maybe as much as 4 years. So we have good life left in the cycle. What's going to happen in that cycle? There's obviously always the opportunity or the desire to grow and the need to grow. Especially as a public company, you have to maintain a certain growth cycle. So our goal has been to keep dry powder and to keep everybody ready to grow, to acquire something if it comes along. We're always on the lookout for that kind of thing. So I think the opportunity is going to happen within franchising. It's going to happen within the REITs. Throughout the industry, there is the availability as long as the deal is right, as long as it's accretive, and it certainly creates value within the company that's doing the acquisition.